You're standing in line, waiting for a friend, sitting alone for a few minutes, and almost instantly, your hand reaches for your phone. Not because something important happened, not because someone texted you, just because the silence feels uncomfortable. Most people never question this. They assume they're bored. They assume they simply need something to do. But boredom isn't really the problem. The problem is what happens when the noise disappears. For a few seconds, there's nothing to watch, nothing to scroll, nothing demanding your attention. And suddenly, you're left alone with your own mind. That sounds simple, but for many people, that's one of the most uncomfortable experiences imaginable. Because silence doesn't just remove sound, it removes distraction. And distractions do something powerful. They keep us from noticing what's happening underneath the notifications, underneath the entertainment, underneath the endless stream of information. There are thoughts waiting there, questions you've been avoiding, emotions you've been postponing. And silence has a habit of bringing all of them back at once. That's why some people can spend hours surrounded by noise but struggle with 5 minutes of stillness. The moment everything becomes quiet, their mind becomes loud. Old memories appear, embarrassing moments return. Conversations replay themselves without permission. Things that seem forgotten suddenly feel fresh again. Your brain starts opening unfinished tabs you've been carrying for months, sometimes years. A goal you abandoned, a decision you never made, a problem you hoped would solve itself. The silence doesn't create those thoughts. It simply reveals them. And that's an important difference. Many people spend their entire lives treating distraction like a solution. Feeling anxious? Watch something. Feeling lonely? Scroll. Feeling uncertain? Find another distraction. The relief feels real at first, but it never lasts very long. Because the distraction disappears, the unresolved feeling doesn't. So the cycle repeats itself. More scrolling, more noise, more stimulation. Not because people enjoy it, because it feels easier than facing what's underneath. Over time, something interesting starts happening. Your brain becomes less comfortable with stillness. Silence starts feeling unfamiliar, almost unnatural. A room with no music feels strange. A walk without headphones feels incomplete. Even a few seconds waiting for an elevator can feel long enough to reach for your phone. And eventually, your brain begins expecting stimulation every moment of the day. The problem is that constant stimulation comes with a cost. When your attention is always occupied, you stop processing your own experiences properly. You consume more information than ever before, yet understand yourself less than ever before. You know what's happening everywhere else, but you slowly lose track of what's happening inside your own mind. That's why silence feels threatening to some people. Because silence creates awareness. Awareness of stress, awareness of loneliness, awareness of things that need attention. And awareness isn't always comfortable, but discomfort isn't automatically bad. In fact, some of the most important moments in life begin with discomfort. The decision to change, the realization that something is wrong, the moment you finally become honest with yourself. None of those things usually happen in the middle of endless distraction. They happen in quiet moments. Moments where there's nowhere to run and nothing to consume. Just you and your thoughts. And despite how uncomfortable that can feel, it's also where clarity begins. Because clarity rarely arrives when your attention is being pulled in 10 different directions. It arrives when things finally slow down, when the noise fades, when your mind has enough space to hear itself again. Maybe that's why silence feels uncomfortable. Not because something is wrong with it, but because silence shows us things we'd rather avoid. And sometimes the reason we keep searching for more noise is because deep down, we already know what the silence is trying to tell us.